Alright, hey guys, this is Andy and
Christian.
coming from New York on the Uppy New York trip 2013. It's a Thursday, and it's been a while since I've done a vlog. I haven't had a lot of time. This is something that I really needed to do a vlog about, and I brought Christian along because he wanted to discuss it too. So what we're going to talk about is play with music, called Peter and the Starcatchers. Well, now, I had a very emotional response to this play, and that rarely happens to me. I cried quite a bit. Christian,
As did I.
and we are not crying people, but I don't know, it really struck a chord with me. So why don't we just start off with talking about like the first things we noticed, because the first thing for me was the comedic timing, I think.
It was very clean.
Yeah. That's a good word to use to describe this show. It's very clean. I mean, the comedic timing is just, it's some of the best I've ever seen on stage. And I feel like that really drew people into the world. And also the, the thing around the stage.
Yes, the
frame. It was perfect. And then when curtains opened up, it was really like it was ushering you into another world, which I feel like a lot of plays kind of forget to do that.
Yeah, especially because of all the actors being the set. It added another level of focus, I thought, too.
Yeah.
Because of the ensemble being so involved 100% of the time.
No, definitely. So that is a perfect segue
into the world.
To talk about the teching. It was very clean. The sound effects were some of the cleanest I've ever heard. And they only used a few recorded sound effects, I think, for sword fights.
And for the doors opening, I think.
No, I figured what the doors were. They were actually, it was grating of violin strings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was so clean, and the actors, and all the sets, also, next thing, how we knew the breaking of the fourth wall. Breaking of the fourth wall is something a lot of people are divided about. But I felt like I definitely worked this time, because at the beginning of the play, they give you a rundown of time period and everything, and so you know that it's people putting on a play. And so it works when they break the fourth wall, because they've already established that is within the rules of the game to do so. Anything else you want to add to that, Christian?
No, I think you got it pretty well.
Alright, now, next thing to talk about, I feel like is really getting to the heart of why this play struck such a deep chord with so many people, and then why so many people just didn't feel it at all. It just really tapped into this childhood sense of wonder and adventure that I hadn't felt in a really long time, since I was, out in the woods, playing pirates.
With sticks.
Yeah.
Little hats.
I feel like another aspect of adding that was like they knew just the right amount. They knew what to let you see going on behind the scenes. Like, they knew just the right amount, and then they knew exactly when to do something and make you go, huh, how did they do that? With Tinkerbell, the Tinkerbell effect. Oh yeah, spoilers. But
well, it's a prequel to Peter Pan.
It's a prequel to Peter Pan, so everything falls into place. It's the origins of all the characters. And then you want to talk about the bittersweetness?
First, I want to talk about the use of props and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because for people who don't know the show, it's a very simple yet complicated prop thing. They use ropes to make doorways, to make mirrors,
To make boxing.
to make
Yeah.
everything,
Things.
to make the water
Mm-hmm.
waving up and down, and
Establish sea level.
and
For swords, they would use just like random everyday objects, like a little kid would. Okay. Maybe we should hold off to talk about talk about some of the acting now. The people we saw there were a lot of understudies that night, but they all fit. The roles were all just done so incredibly well. I mean, Blackstash. There were a few things where I couldn't believe that like they had blocked that. I'm just like, no, that had to be something he just came up with completely in the moment in character.
yeah, they're very invested throughout. And what I love most about the character of Blackstash, I love the characters that are villains, yet you love them so much because there's some sort of suaveness, sort of tact about them that you just want to see more and more of.
The Peter, the actor who played Peter, fit that innocence so well, and in this Peter and Molly who is the female.
They're played by adults.
They're played by adults in their mid-20s. They're 13, but they still have that childlike innocence. But they're on the thing that's great is that they have that childlike innocence, but they're just on the cusp of leaving that, which is a perfect segue into the bittersweetness of the show.
There we go.
Okay, I don't even know how to begin talking about this. It's so Christian. I'm starting off.
Well, as people who have seen Peter Pan know, Peter Pan doesn't age because he lives on the island and stuff. Star stuff is what does that to him. And, well, yeah. And, should we, spoiler, probably?
Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So it turns out that he had been immersed in the star stuff, which, whatever you want to be, you turn into from getting or touching it or anything. And so Molly's father says that they can't take him back with us, with them. And so there's this really emotional scene between Molly and Peter about saying goodbye. And
I don't think we should spoil the line.
no, we definitely.
But there's an amazing line, and you'll know it when you come into it. I don't know. It was really weird. Like, I didn't know why I got so emotional. It wasn't like Toy Story 3, where you're saying goodbye to your childhood. It was more just kind of revisiting it.
It was revisiting it and then having it taken away yet again, kind of.
But knowing that it's like, but it wasn't like, I'm gonna go back to Toy Story 3 again. I felt like Toy Story 3 was borderline. I know they tried to wrap it up nicely, but I feel like it was borderline, we're ripping your childhood away from you. I felt like this was much more positive, like you can come back and revisit it anytime you want. Because I mean, like, those actors on stage were just like little kids playing in a sandbox. They were having so much fun. And I was at my seat. We were very close up. We were in the first two rows, and my seat was in the second row, very to the left. And I could see people go off into the wings, and I could see things happening in the wings. And I would see people exit the wings completely in character, and then like wait, like in anticipation to come back on as their character. And because I could see that, and like I distinctly remember other spoilers, like the set kind of goes away to create this whole like jungle thing.
Yes.
And I distinctly remember pulling someone having to pull the thing out, pulling the thing away for someone to take off like something. And I just saw this tech guy, something I wasn't supposed to see, just beaming, and it was amazing. I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I don't. It's pretty amazing. I don't know. It's just, and it's so well written. It just has this amazing rhythm and pacing. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of going all over the place.
I feel that way too, but you know, it's something we know what we want to say, but we're trying to get to what we're trying to say. I guess.
Yeah. And one of the sad things. Another thing like that's bittersweet about the play more spoilers. Is that when Molly leaves, Peter forgets about her. But then it's revealed that Sally is Molly's daughter. Wendy is Molly's daughter. So it's bittersweet because like then that happened and that was great, but Molly's just forgotten about, and that's sad because I feel like sometimes you do kind of forget about childhood.
And it's that 13-year-old innocence also that doesn't remember things. It lets go of things easily and has staying a boy forever.
I know. I think like 13 is such like the perfect age because you could to make these characters because you could be not innocent 13, but like you can also
Well, that's another thing too, because the show is based in 1820s. They didn't have.
No, it was based later. It was like 1880s.
Oh, well, around that time.
Yeah.
Well, they also don't have the media corruption that today's
Yes.
youth have.
Yeah.
So
all they had
know those things like
is their like imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was all the actors had.
Yeah.
Like they really believe, like it really is going back to like kids in a sandbox. They really believe their world, and like at the beginning of the play, imagine that all these ropes and chains are, 1885 England, and like it just has such a sense of adventure. Oh wow, we're really all over the place now. Sorry about that, guys. But I think anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Just that it's a show that I think there will always be an empty place in your body or your heart if you haven't seen it. It's one of just the most emotionally completing shows.
It really is. It
gives you a closure of childhood almost.
It's ridiculously profound.
And it's running off Broadway at New World Stages, and see it, it's amazing.
Bye, guys.